Right, welcome to Toffee TV. It's that time. It's early January, Baz. Everton transfer dailies every single day during. I know you love them. I know you love them, Baz. I know you love doing them every single day.
It's great.
It's great for us. People love it. This transfer.
People love it, but it's...
But what?
It's not. There's a lot of it's just rumour bollocks. Well, that's what we just call it. Rumours. That's what. Not transfer. Not transfer daily. Rumours daily. And then it covers, because you'd have some people go, they're just rumours. What are you talking about?
We've got the name for it. We've had things made for the screen. It says Everton News Daily.
There's daily news. It could be.
Hopefully,
it could be another one of the cladding. Another bit of cladding's gone up today. That's news daily. When am I getting my bit by the Bullens? Instead of just seeing stupid frame. When am I getting it filled in with like blue?
You get your plastic seats. Lots of names getting thrown about.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, there's three. Would you say that look? Four? You're gonna go for four? The big four?
I'd say at the moment there's four quite clearly in the picture. Yeah.
So let's Morgan Schneiderlin. Obviously, the link is the manager has had him at Southampton and made a decent player out of him there. He went to Man United. It hasn't quite worked for one reason or another, but he said he wants to leave. Now we know West Brom are in for him as well, but you think it all fits to come to Everton?
Yeah, because I think we need... The manager quite clearly wanted another midfield player in the summer, didn't he? He inquired about Schneiderlin. They didn't want to let him go in the summer. I don't think the player wanted to leave in the summer. I think he wanted to have a go at trying to impress Marino, which is fair comment. He's at United and probably felt he hadn't, he wanted to see if he could break in. He's had 6 minutes, I think, or 8 minutes.
Yeah, isn't that much, yeah.
Which is ridiculous, isn't it? Considering Coney's had more at Everton, which is outrageous. Now, so, obviously he's going to be leaving. You've just said yourself, he was good under Koeman for the season at Southampton. They know each other. He wouldn't have to leave the area. It all kind of makes sense. And I think Everton, we need... I think it's no secret Ronald Koeman wants physical, tall, players who
knows the way
around the pitch. He's 25, I think, or 26, which is a good age. And it's something that we need. We're about to lose Garner for 3 weeks or something. McCarthy we can't rely on because obviously the injuries are a bit dodgy. Gareth Barry's getting on a bit. So it all fits for me, and Tony Pulis, West Brom have made an £18 million bid, and I thought Pulis' comment when he said, yeah, we were in for him, kind of means to me that Schneiderlin's gone. Thanks but no thanks. So love the cap and love what you do with the white trainers. Remember the baby wipes? I told you Tony's fully sponsored by the baby wipes. Give them a nice wipe. Schneiderlin's probably looked and thought, I could do with a little bit of the baby wipe action on my shoes, Tony, but I think I'm going to stick with the Dutchman. So I think that makes, to me, that makes sense.
And obviously there's the talk of Depay as well. Yeah. Obviously Memphis Depay.
Bit more of a gamble.
But it'd be, just from a point of view, I think it'd be an easier deal for Man United to swallow, getting rid of the pair of them at once, getting the money in. Whether it be 40 million, that I suppose that's that.
I think it'd be less than that.
Yeah, well, it might be 40 million with add-ons, because everything's 40 million with add-ons these days, or 20 million with add-ons. But I think that makes more sense than sort of Man United going, well, we sell him to him, and then I think Rumour are after Depay, and Depay will be thinking, well, again, it's the Dutch connection. Koeman said nice things about him on TV. He didn't say nice things about him, but then he did say nice things about him. Again, Depay probably want to stay in the Premier League. He's settled. He'll probably look at Everton and think, well, that's the level I can be at, and how these things get sold to players. You know that level, and then you can work your way up to that level rather than just bombing out completely. So I think doing a double deal would probably suit everyone. Whether it happens or not, who knows? But I think that would just suit everyone down to the ground. Yeah,
Depay, of the two, Depay's the gamble. I think Schneiderlin's proved he can do it in the Premier League as a good player, and being a good player in the Premier League, I don't think there's an issue there. I think definitely Depay could be fantastic, he could be fantastic. Or he could be, a nightmare.
Yeah.
And we won't know, will we? But he's a player who's a young, quick, offensive player. Scores. He was fantastic in Holland. Saw a lot of big clubs were chasing him, and United got him. And he's one of those players that, if Koeman could get him right, Everton would have a hell of a player on us. And I understand what you're saying about levels, and you know, drop down, go to Everton and work your way back up, but Everton want to be...
No, I know, I'm saying that's how it gets sold.
Oh, I know, but I'm saying, but that's... He for me, bridges that kind of gap, because it shows that, yeah, you know, we took Phil Neville and Louis Sahar and them kind of players off United. Yeah, okay, it's not like they want to keep the pie and he's Everton are wrestling them away, but he's at an age where he could be a fantastic player.
And it's how they use him as well, because we've seen the manager likes playing, whether it be 3-4-3 or 4-3-3. The manager seems likes to have 3 striking options, you know, interchangeable. The strikers play high and they press, and I think that's probably what he sees in Depay as not being a natural winger, not being a winger like he's played. Depay will have come through a system like most players in Holland where he plays 3 up front, and the manager will look at that and think, well, that's not necessarily how Man United have played in the last couple of years. Depay's been used more as a winger, or maybe as a striker, or maybe even as a number 10, but he's never played probably in that. I mean, he has probably played don't get me wrong, they've played 3, but they've had a slightly different 3. Louis van Gaal obviously plays that Dutch way, but
he was in and out. That's
what I'm saying. It never quite stuck. So maybe what Koeman's thinking, well, if we get him in, I think Koeman said himself, he needs games. He can come here and get games, maybe a little bit, not saying less pressure, but just going under the radar, do your job, and work into that position a little bit more. And I think that's probably what the plan is.
Yeah, if he can get him in, you know, it's going to be positive for us. Our options are limited, aren't they? We've got Rom, he's on his own very much so, you know. So, you know, Enna Valencia's coming over the last few games and made a bit of a difference, just because he's been enthusiastic and he's not around. But we need more quality up there. We know we do, you know. We've got, you know, Dominic Calvert-Lewin's been thrust into it a little bit
early.
He's probably not ready, or certainly doesn't really want to play in that position. He wants to be central because he's, you know, decent in the air and he scores goals. So it's good to have a specialist, and it's good to have he's an international Depay, you know. You can't have too many good players. And then you look at it, if you're looking at it as a team on the other side, obviously Gabbiadini we wanted from Napoli in the summer, it looks like that could happen now. Napoli have brought in a striker, and I seen, was it Palmieri on Twitter the other day, was asked about him, and he said it depends if you want a striker like a target man number 9, no. You want a wide striker, yes. And that again fits into the system of the 3 up front, Ron being the main man, 2 round them, interchangeable possibly. Someone who do, like you've just said, an upgrade on Valencia, someone who do that dirty work, but will also maybe, you know, if you can get 10 goals as well, I mean, a season, then that would be brilliant as well. But someone who do that doggy work, press high, push teams back, keep us on the front foot, like we've been saying, like Koeman's been saying. It's suddenly the dynamic of the team makes a shift. I mean, we said it last week, we said it after the Arsenal game, we said it after the derby as well. We were starting to see the template, we just didn't have the quality of the player. Now maybe he's thinking, now these players come in straight away, they can take us up to a level. Definitely. Okay, it's not the ultimate level, but it's that next level. So you've already, a lot of teams scrap around for a centre forward to score goals. That's what they want. We've got a centre forward that scores goals now, so we've got, I read the same thing you'd read, and I've read a bit about Gabbiadini anyway, and he's not a 20 goal a season striker, and it'd be lovely if he was, but he's a player who can get you between 5 and 10 goals a season. He's nice, got a lovely first touch on him, he works hard, so that falls into that and plays off the left, so that's almost perfect for us, because that's what we want. If he can link up with Rom, if he could come in and get 5 goals between now and May, you know, that just adds a little bit of a boost for us. But he's also a good attacking player who creates chances, so therefore that improves us no end on that side. The same with Depay on the other, and you're right, it changes Everton into a totally different animal, because people, not even though Depay's been at United, they don't really know what he's capable of. They don't know anything about Gabbiadini. And if you could fit Schneiderlin in there as well, it makes Everton a different team altogether.
And what you find, I mean, I think Premier League I know lots said about Premier League players, Premier League defenders, but I just think if you put a lot of Premier League defenders under pressure from the front, you can win the ball back. And if you win it high, I mean, we've seen this in Martinez's second season. If you win the ball back against defenders is quite high,
it's a goal.
You got a decent chance of getting a shot off and a shot on target. And shots on target can create goals. Everton, and as you say, it's upgrading, isn't it? So there's three that I think there's a. I'm not going to say there's a 50-50 chance, but certainly they seem to be there's three players there that the club seem to be actively trying to bring in.
I'd say there was more than 50-50 with them.
No,
just because
you know what I mean.
There's been too many stories leaked. I think there's been too many of the stories.
Things can always.
Until the signing on the dotted line, you don't. Nothing's is certain. I'm not saying the certainties, but I'm saying Everton have got a very big interest in all.
So, go on. Who else? What else should we?
Rumour, the kid at Charlton. Yeah, I think that's one that looks as though it will probably happen.
Do you think? Because I think where it's been falling down is that they wanted to take him back on loan, and we were like, no, we want him in our squad.
He's going to go in the first.
We want him in this first team straight away. Do you think that'll be a case of the big team with the money being able to just say, listen, we'll give you the ultimatum, we'll give you an extra £500,000 to a club like Charlton, that would be huge in the position to just say, listen, we want him now, here's the money, take it or leave it. What's he going to do for you for the rest of the season that someone else couldn't do for $500,000?
I think obviously they're protecting their asset. They want to get promoted. Carl Robinson's gone in there now, and he said he's the best player outside of the Premier League, so obviously building him up. But I think what Everton, what they want as well, is looks as though they want a couple of Everton's youngsters on loan for the rest of the season. Robinson obviously wants to fill his squad out. The money they get will obviously be important to them because it is at that level anyway. So I think if Everton can strike up a deal where maybe you see a Liam Walsh and a Kieran Dowell go to Charlton for the rest of the season, that covers them. They've got two players. Dowell, I think Dowell needs it. I think Dowell really needs it. I think that's where he could
be toughened up a little bit.
Yeah. Play every week where it matters, where people are paying money to come and watch it and people's livelihoods are on the line. It'll toughen them up, make them realise it. I think Liam Walsh is always been in excellent form for the 23s, and he sounds as though he's on the verge of getting called up to the first team squad. It might do him no harm at all to get back out.
Top goal scorer.
Yes, exactly. But I think they could end up taking maybe those two, or certainly Dowell and another. That'll strengthen them for the rest of the season. I think that suits everybody. And then Lookman, young, athletic, hungry player. He's only 19.
He'd be an interesting one because he's one of them where you go, I don't know too much about him. Can he make the step up? But obviously, Steve Walsh has identified him as the best thing outside. There's obviously serious talk about him. If we don't take him, someone will take him. Again, they're the ones being talked about. Now we're sort of starting to get into the territory of rumour and stuff. But he definitely seems to want another centre half. The two names, and I know the very obvious names or the easy names, but Fonte seems to be one name, and you think, I think he's a fantastic player, but the age obviously is the worry. But the other one, the wild card, Van Dijk, isn't it? That's starting to get talked about a little bit more. But I think that goes hand in hand with the fact that we're getting into January. It's a very easy thing to say, but I think the two major problems with that are Southampton not going to want to sell him. Clearly, he's their best player. We should have signed him when he was at Celtic. The other problem we've got is
Roberto. Yeah.
Well, no, he's not our problem anymore. But the other problem we've got is, I think Champions League clubs. I was going to say bigger clubs then, but I think Champions League clubs are coming for him.
That's why it might be. Yeah, this one's a tough one because I know that he's got the same agent as Koeman, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He's allegedly, according to his agent and other things, he said he's happy, he wants to join Everton to be work with Koeman and blah blah blah. Now, obviously, if
Yeah.
Juventus come in, there'd be
Of course.
don't play for Juventus. But I think if Everton have got any serious, aspirations about getting him, that's one for me that they need to do in the first couple of days, because I think as it drags on, more and more teams go, actually, you know what, we'll have a bit of that.
And he's a,
Do you know what I mean?
he's a Dutchman
he
as well.
like
He's
a top class defender, doesn't he?
And he's a Dutchman as well.
So
They're always on their eye. Without being horrible, they're always on the lookout for the next move.
It's the next move, isn't it? So you'd get him and know that you've only got him for a couple of years, probably, unless Everton do go where they want to go. So if that's to be a reality, they need to move quickly. They're probably going to have to pay in excess of £30 million for him. But the fact they were going to spend 48 million or 47 million on Kuba in the summer means that obviously the money's there. And it could be a case of Mashiri saying, right, we just cleared that £80 million debt, or it's been managed differently, so it frees Everton up in terms of the financial fair play and everything else, so they can afford these players, whereas they weren't capable of getting this many in the summer because they had to play with stuff. It's there now, so we might think, listen, we're going to spend 80-90 million in this window, maybe sell a couple of players in this window if they can and bring that back down. And then that makes your planning for the summer a little bit different. Then you can manage that with the promise that there's another 130
Well, the other
million
thing I
coming
was going to say, it doesn't put as much pressure on there's pressure on the summer, but whereas you might be looking for 5, 6, 7, 8 in the summer, you're suddenly looking for 4, 5, and also
difference makers you're looking for.
I was going to say, you know what you want. You're fine tuning, aren't you? Or you're fine tuning to get to that level to almost then start again.
And the other thing is that then when you're turning players over, you're selling for 20 million, not for 5 and 3 when you've paid 15, and that's what it's about. If you upgrade all the time, it becomes easy to
can you think of any, are there any other sort of wild cards or possibilities
who are on the horizon at the moment? I still think he wants a keeper, but I don't know whether he'll just go, we'll stick with these two and go big for the likes of Fraser Forster next summer, because I think he's probably. See, the Joe Hart thing's berserk for me, that they went so far down the line with that to the point where it was done, and then he's pulled the plug on it. So I still can't get my head around that one. I know he'd identified some weaknesses, but it's not as if we had.
I mean, this just I don't think it was anything to do with the playing. I've just got a feeling that he wanted them like full time, and Joe Hart was a bit like, nah. I know, but that seems to me how it sort of, you don't pull the plug on something unless you don't pull the plug at that.
I don't know whether he wanted the permanent deal. City didn't, Joe Hart didn't. Don't know.
That's what I'm saying. I just don't think Joe Hart was willing to commit himself. I think Joe Hart wanted to keep his options open. Joe Hart had obviously.
But what I'm saying is the deal was practically.
Yeah, I know, but that's why it's weird.
It's weird. So I don't know whether he would be someone this summer, because he's already said this. He knows his time's up.
But there's a few players. So the market might have opened up for Joe Hart now, mightn't it?
No, well, that's what I mean.
Chelsea, Liverpool.
But then again, I don't know if Liverpool have been watching him at Torino. I think he's threw a few in his net this season. I don't know. I mean, maybe Liverpool will. I don't know. But that's what I'm saying. That was a mad one. So, but I don't know whether he himself has thought, I'd actually prefer Fraser Forster, and I know I'm not going to be able to get him till the summer.
Without going into too many details, players leaving. I mean,
I don't know. I think Delafeu's. I don't want to say.
I think he's a sellable asset, isn't he?
I think he's one that could go. I think Kevin Morales could go if someone come in for him, because I think especially if they bring Gabbiadini.
Yeah, I think
McCarthy was.
I think Delafeu's more definitely. You'd say someone comes in for him. What, 7 to 10 million? You'd probably go, I'll have a bit of that.
I'd sell Morales first.
I would. I know you would.
He's 28 and he's
I know.
Very little, but I think when you're upgrading, Kevin Morales not going to be happy if Gabbiadini in the pipe.
No, I know, but I just think that
he just dropped.
If the phone call comes, it's going to.
I think there'll be a few if the phone call comes.
Cleverly,
I can see leaving.
If
Aaron Lennon,
plays in,
I can see leaving. If someone comes in for him. If McCarthy gets anywhere near fitness and someone wants to take a chance, I could see him selling him. I don't think he'd be bothered to lose James McCarthy, especially if he gets Schneiderlin. I don't think he'd be bothered to lose McCarthy. That's probably Brian Oviedo, if someone would offer any
Disneyland, he's not asked.
If Mickey Mouse offers a couple of maybe offers like Louis, Huey and Dewey or
Yeah,
something.
Louis and Dewey.
You know, then there's a chance that he'll go. Unless he if he puts Snow White forward, I wouldn't think twice about it. No, I think the likes of Oviedo and people like that, you know, you could lose that. Darren Gibson. Is anyone going to be bothered about Darren Gibson?
Who?
Exactly. So I think they're that cleverly Lennon.
What about
Nias, Kone? I don't think he'd stop any of those leaving.
He's already bombed them out.
I don't think you'll get any money for Kone anyway, but surely someone wants him. Hull?
It seems like a whole kind of player, doesn't
Hull need players.
What about Ross?
No.
Do you think that's definitely a no?
Well, for two reasons. A, I'm not convinced we would sell him at the moment anyway, in a January window. And B, I'm not convinced anyone would offer us the money that we want for Ross Barkley at this moment in time. He's not pulling up any trees in terms of grabbing headlines. And so who's likely to want him? Man City, they likely to want him at the moment. They've got De Bruyne. He's not like he's playing out of his skin, so no. Don't think United are likely to want him. Spurs, is he a Pochettino player? Does he run around like that one for me is not that I don't think. I honestly don't think Koeman would. I think Koeman would sell anybody. I think Koeman would sell any of his brother, Aaron, if someone offered him enough for him. You know, I think it's a case of, I don't think there's anybody who he wouldn't sell. So I don't know, but I'd like to think that it'd be a no anyway. Because I just don't see anybody.
I don't see the point of selling him in January, because I'd like to see if new players come in and there's more consistency in the team selection and of his players and how he wants to set up. I'd like to see how Ross Barkley coped with that system.
The two things that would really, really, really upset me is if we allowed Lukaku to go without ever giving him a proper partner or players who can create for him, and Ross Barkley, if we allowed him to go without putting better players around him. Because I think if you put better players around Ross, when he looks up, he's got a pass on. Whereas when you look up now, ours are just so stood like that, and he hasn't got a pass sometimes because he's marked. Don't point me giving you if you're marked. So they're the two things I'd like to see us get: better players and put them in and see what they can do. And I'd love Timo Horn. So Ronald, I know you watch now quite clearly. You watch with the Davis and Holgate stuff going down, and Valencia came in from nowhere. So Timo Horn, please.
There you go. There you go. So that's what we're looking at.
Fonte, would you take him?
I'd take him. I think he's
32,
and I think he's a great defender.
He is a great defender. He's an last defender. He's one on you.
He's a great defender. But again,
would there, just very quickly, sorry, before we wrap up, would there be? Is there an argument, a good enough argument for taking him at 32 when we're saying Jags is done? And Ashley Williams is 32.
Yeah, that's the problem. You're bringing another old player into the squad.
Van Dijk's the better, obviously the better of the two.
Van Dijk could be. Van Dijk could make a statement as well.
Oh God, yeah. But Fonte, I'm like you see. I think Holgate couldn't, especially if you're going to play three.
Yeah.
I think then two with Mason Holgate. What an education that'd be, you know. And then obviously, last one. Go on. Brendan back from West Brom.
Yeah, hopefully. Hopefully.
So
they're not using him. They're not really that bothered.
No, I think they want him out so they can free.
Do you know what it is? He's scuffed.
I seen that.
Scuffed the trainings.
He stepped on him, didn't he?
One of his first days.
He stepped on him, that was it.
It's never been this. The relationship just went.
And the worst thing was he cleaned it, but he'd had the blade that scratched the training. So
he had those trainings on there with like the little studded things.
You can't get
and
it.
Brett, so he walked over and has done that on his white Trabs.
You can't get
his Adidas ZXs. And and it's just left a big score mark in the Trab.
But even when you clean them with the
dirt gets in,
it leaves the dirt. And that is a no.
That's football for you. That's basic.
And he done that laugh, you know, the Pulis laugh.
Like Jabba the Hutt.
With the teeth like that. But it wasn't real. It was like the eyes didn't laugh.
Oh.
The Pulis eyes didn't laugh though.
Oh, Brendan Galabue. Like that.
Pulis doesn't sound.
It does.
Pulis doesn't sound.
But when he wanted him to wear a gold bikini,
he was fuming.
Too far. You went too far with that. Anyway, that's our little discussion on the
for Carrie Fisher as well, hopefully. She falls through.
Full circle, always comes full circle. So that's our little chat there. The window will be opening soon. We'll be having transfer dailies every single day. Baz, it'll be the
31 players will be signing.
The cheery face of the transfer deadline. The boss.
Film lots out of fish.
These videos put your kids through college. Remember that.
Kids come and try and get in the video. Well, Zach does it. To
Zach
get in
does.
the videos.
Zach's a future presenter.
In fact, to be fair, mate, I'll just let him do it.
Just get on the FIFA with him and start.
You know,
get him on, film him.
Film him.
Millions.
Yeah, be like that Joe Ella.
Cash cow.
Zach Ella.
Cash cow.
Even worse. Just get in reporting on plays.
Yeah.
With Buzz Lightyear. But any truth Everton are signing you.
So you probably get more joy out of Buzz.
He will. To infinity and beyond.
There you go.
That's my next contract.
Buzz will be RG and White.
To be fair,
Same shit.
Mashiri probably talks to him more than he talks to Everton.
Right, there you have it. That's our transfer rumour roundup. Hopefully some of them will be coming in January and our squad gets amazing.
Ka-shing!
But the main thing is Tom Davies has to play no matter what. No matter what. Tell us what you think in the comments.
No matter what. When I play some.
Yeah, tell us in the comments who you would like to see Everton sign, who you wouldn't, and who would you like to see us get rid of. Throw some wild cards in there. Just throw them in. Let us know. It's Toffee TV. We'll see you later.